Most sim rigs are medieval torture devices. Hard shells, fake racing posture, and no back or spine support. You don't realize how bad they are until you finish a race. And it feels like your spine actually did a race stint too. So I created my own sim rig with a real car chair, and I'll explain in this video all the decisions that I make on gear, brake pedals, steering wheels, adjustments, and a full-blown rig tour. Let's get into it. Something I think is super important about sim racing chairs is, especially when you get a bit older maybe, how the comfort will be. And also how easy it is to get in and out of the rig itself. You know, if you just navigate through life, sometimes you need to jump in or out, and look at this. I'm ready to go. Now, sure, my keyboard will be here, but so I think that's really important. Now, this seat you cannot buy in a sim racing store, because it's actually a real car seat. What this seat can do, it can, because it's a proper seat, like mega strong. So imagine when I hit the brakes, there's almost no flex. And if I push it a bit forward, and I'm really hitting those brakes, I have this nice thick layer of cushion in my back, and I can sit in this for hours and hours at a time. So I can adjust it front to back, and like everyone can sit in my rig. Yeah, I cannot even touch the pedals like this, but if I go really forward, they're really close by. So that's what I really like. Also this sliding system, because it's a real car, it needs to pass certain strength checks and it needs to have quality. It needs to like go forward and backward like a million years. So there is no play in this slider system. Now we also have the one going up and down, so I can move up and I can push the angle down like this, and I can even like do this while I'm racing. I'm just hit this button right here, go a bit down, especially in VR, to match your VR environment to the steering wheel. It can be super handy just to make these adjustments. If you want to buy a car seat yourself for your sim rig, I highly suggest to think about, when you buy one or check one out, because you can find them secondhand, that these sliders lining up. Because a lot of cars have differences here. It might be higher or lower. You can still fill it out with some wood or some metal to level it out. You can also see that this seat is not in the middle, positioned on my sim rig. So you can see that this one is like, this is the driver's seat, but you can see how this was connected to my sim rig. And that is the next thing I want to talk about, because my sim rig is created for VR and it is created for no flex. And I built this myself from stainless steel because I used to be a stainless steel welder, and I still do some projects to like make some money, basically. Now let's talk about the design of the sim rig itself. So it was designed to make it adjustable in every possible way. And I'm using this now for 2.5 or like 2 years, and there are still some design faults in it. If I would rebuild it again, which I might do in the future, I might change things up a bit, especially the pedal area. Now let's talk about the pedals in general. So I have the Sim Magic P1000s, and they're okay. I don't think they're super great. I will tell you why as well, but...
And you know why? Because the heel plate is too short. So the back end of your foot is just constantly on the edge of the wheel plate. That's the only thing that's wrong with it, really.
They give me the good brake trace. I can connect this pedal set. This foundation is based on this angle bar frames, and I can position the complete pedal set forward or backward. I can change its height. So if I would be like more, because I'm considering to bring it up a few clicks, because I see my VR persona in the car is a bit higher, so I can bring this up, but I can also change the angle. So I can slide it from front to back, and I can slide it like under an angle like that. So it's fully customizable, fully adjustable. I can also bring it down a lot and up too. So these stainless steel bars are 3 millimeters of thickness. This is so immensely overkill but I don't get any flex in my rig when I'm braking. So this monster needs to power everything. This is basically the best money can buy. It's the 5090 with a 9950 X3D from AMD, so no compromises there. So to talk about cable management, which is a real skill, I think, and I'm really lacking that skill, but I'm also changing out a lot of gear these days, so I don't really bother with this. But yeah, this could definitely use some improvement. These devices, they are, I will put them in the description. These are nitro blowers. They give me some wind when I'm driving on the straights for when I'm going faster. And look at this.
Hey, if you like this content, could you please hit that like button? That really helps me out. And check the links down below. My Art of Car Setups is finished. It is basically a product, a guide, a full-blown 7-step system into how to build your own car setups in pretty much every simulation. Check the link out down below. Let's move on.
This system, and I got that over there as well, this creates the height of the overall wheelbase position. So it gives me an average on how high I can put my steering wheel. Now I'm on the limit with the screens here, so there's not a lot of space left, but I could just push it up and I could also push it down. But yeah, here is the slider and connector for the keyboard, and I also have that over there for the mouse pad area. By the way, do you see these QR codes? These are created to give my headset better tracking. So the headset better understands where it's positioned with the in and outside tracker. Now let's talk about the adjustments of the steering wheel. So I'm using the Moza R9 with this steering wheel. Somehow I cannot remember the name of this steering wheel, but I will also explain why I'm kind of ready to swap wheels, because I don't really like this wheel anymore. Now I don't know if you can hear it, but this is because why I'm kind of fed up with this wheel and I might need a new one. This is something I really don't like. Anyways, let's move on with the sim rig. So I have this wrench and I can start adjusting my wheel in every possible scenario. So let's show you. I can change how far away my wheel is. So I can loosen up the front and back slider, and I can push it forward and backwards and forwards. So if I feel like my persona in VR is like having the steering wheel close by, I can push it away and pull it towards me. So I think that's really cool. But that's not the only thing. I can also change the height. So if I change, I have over here, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I have other sliders that I can release and I can bring the wheel down as well. So I can also have it more downwards position. But that is not all. I can also change the angle. So if I change this one, I can also change this angle. So I've seen some videos that you want to kind of have it 90 degrees, but some cars in the simulation have it a little bit tilted forward, and to give the best immersion in VR, you kind of want to point it sometimes a little bit tilted like this. So look at this. I can change this one. I can change the how far away it is from my body, and I also can bring it up. So like this. In 2 weeks from now, at the time of recording, I'm going to the Sim Racing Expo, and I never get the good feeling in the seat. The screen is too high, the wheelbase is too far away, the seat is too low, the seat is too high, the seat is not tilted enough, the steering wheel feels shaky, or it's just overall strength in general. So let's connect it and see how I get absolutely no flex. So if I would now like hit the steering wheel, pull it a lot like this, there's just no issues here. It's super mega strong. So I don't really bother with the screens. They are more for navigation when I'm streaming or making videos and all that good stuff, or some telemetry. There's the camera where you normally are here. There's the W40 because sometimes something cracks and I need to change it. There is another propeller over there. But the most important thing of this complete SimRig room, because I'm pushing, you can see I'm on the addict, is that device. So that is one thing that people don't really talk about, especially on summertime. And as I am here on the attic, like the top floor of my house, is the air conditioning. If you're looking at wheelbases, PC systems, expensive SimRigs, this is actually an upgrade that is vital for your room, because staying in a cool environment when you're doing lots of racing, I mean, I think it's very underrated. And it's also really expensive upgrade. Don't get me wrong. I was saving a lot for this. And that's how also, before we click off the video, I will also explain that this area is, this is like, you're looking at like a marathon over here. Like, this is the finish line now. I still want to upgrade my wheelbase. I might get some other screens, or it needs to be more organized in a lot of ways, but I think about this could look really intimidating and like so much money spent, but also know that this is a project of 5 years. The SimRig, this is already my third SimRig that I built, and also for the screen setup, and I'm also reconsidering the whole area in general, how I can make it better. And that is also what you will see on other rig tours. You see all this gear and stuff, but it is just a collection of different upgrades and knowledge throughout the years if you keep doing it. And it does look like an enormous amount of money, and it is, but it's not spent in one day. It's every time you save something up, every time you upgrade something, and maybe you don't. And if you're not really into sim racing, or you want to start out, start small. I really like the idea of getting a real car seat, get some plywood, and build your own SimRig from the get-go. I think that's the most cheapest way to start out, so save some money for a proper wheelbase. So if you like this video, can you please hit that like button? That would really help me out. And if you really want to get into VR and you want to get the objections and the tips that I use to explain VR, then you want to check out that video. Thanks for watching.